Hello everyone, welcome back to Ninetail Hobbies. In this one we're going to continue our unit guide for the starter box for Bot War Turbo Edition. This time we're going to be tackling the Valiants, and we're going to start with RJ, everyone's favorite little sniper. She is pretty awesome. For 4 points you get an SR4, which is the lowest that the Valiants get in the starter set. They've got 3 bots that start at 4. She got a movement of 7, a ranged attack of 2 dice, closest combat of 1, 2 shields, 4 health, and she generates 2 energy. She has ram attack, which if she moves into melee, if she spends 2 energy, she gets an extra 3 inches of movement. She can go into melee, and if she does, she gets an extra critical die. She has Obscure, which if she's attacked at range, she gets an additional shield dice for a total of 3, which isn't bad. And she also has Sniper, which allows her, even if she's at long range, which would take away 1 die, you can switch one of her ranged attack die for a critical die. So this means no matter what, she is doing potential damage to an opponent, because the critical die has no blanks on it, has a minimum of 1, so you have a chance of doing decent chip damage. So for someone who wants to sit in the back and just poke at your opponents, she is a very solid piece for 4 points. Next up, we have Herbs. He is a super cool little bot. He's 7 points. He's also an SR4 and movement of 7. He also has a ranged attack of 2, close combat of 1, 2 shield dice, 4 health, and 2 energy. He also has ram attack and obscure like RJ, so if he's getting attacked at ranged, he gets an extra shield die. Doesn't work in combat, but that's fine. But he also has a nifty ability of efficient, which means one of his actions each turn is for free. So you can pretty much just put 1 cube on him, and his other one will go towards someone else, unless you want to give him a boost or anything. You can also efficient his ram attack, which is really, really nice, because instead of having to stack 2 energy on him for the ram attack and then an additional 1 for melee, you can ram attack for free and then initiate your melee, and you get that awesome critical die whenever you go in, and then you would get an additional 1 from ram attack. So that would be 4 dice that you're rolling, 2 of them crits by spending 1 energy. So while he is incredibly fragile, he is a nice objective grabbing piece, and in a pinch, he can do a surprising amount of damage. Up next, we have quite possibly my favorite Valiant. He's definitely my favorite out of the starter set, Supercharge. He's 11 points. He has a strategy rating of 4, a movement of 7, a ranged attack of 2, a close combat of 3, plus you also get your critical die when you're in melee, and he has shields of 3. And unlike Herbs and RJ, he has 6 health, and he generates 3 energy, which is very nice. His super abilities, this is your disruptor. This is the guy that's going to jump in the back lines, and with a super respectable close combat pool, he can really mess some guys up. He has air support, which allows him to triple his movement speed, so 7, so it would be 21 inches. But he also has teleport, so once a game, you can spend the energy and teleport anywhere on the board that you want to, including into base and base contact with an enemy. So he can jump into the back lines and really mess up some people's plans. And if he takes that model out next turn, he can air support away. So very, very cool model. I like him a lot, and his model is super cool. Next up is Traffic Stop. This is your more ranged expert. He is a SR of 10. He does cost 10 points. He has a movement of 7, a ranged combat of 3, a close combat of 2, and then, of course, when you would see that, you would also get your critical die. And then a shields of 3, 6 health, and generates 2 energy. Like most Valiants, Traffic Stop has ram attack, but he also has sharpshooter, so once per turn he can re-roll one of his ranged attack dice, so he is pretty reliable when it comes to taking shots. Cold Start is next. He has a very similar stat line to Traffic Stop, except he's got a SR of 3. He does cost 8 points, so he's a bit cheaper. He's got a movement of 7. He also has a ranged attack of 3, a close combat of 2, 3 shields. He does generate 3 energy instead of 2, and he also has 6 health with ram attack. But unlike everyone else on here, he does have the super ability Surge. Surge allows you that if you hit and damage an opponent, if they have any energy on them, the attack also does that much damage. So if you attack someone and they've boosted and all that stuff, and you still do damage to them, say you do 1 bit of damage, if they have 2 energy cubes on them, that would be 3 damage because of the 1 plus the 2 cubes. They don't lose the energy or anything, but it just does that damage to them. So very cool ability. You can do an extra bit if someone's been saving some energy for another model, or if it's a high SR rating and hasn't had a chance to go yet, you can get some good damage in on them. And then finally, we have the Grand General himself, Ducal, or as me and my friend call him, Doomcow. He is a massive 28 points, but man, is he worth it. He's got an SR of 10, so he's going to be going last. He's got a movement of 7. He has a ranged combat of 4. He's got a close combat of 4. So you would be adding a critical dice, so you'd be rolling 5. And he also has 4 shields, 10 health, and generates 3 energy. He also sports ram attack, so you would be adding another critical die if you're using that in with him. He has Inspiring Presence, which allows one bot within range of him, within visual side of him, to re-roll one of their dice per round. He has Combat Sword, which makes an opponent re-roll 1 die of your choosing. So if they get a 3 on you and everything, you can cause them to re-roll that. Maybe they'll get a 1. He's got Combat Shield, so he gets to take away one of his normal shield die and replace it with a critical die, which, like I said before, has no blank on it, so you are guaranteed to roll at least 1 block. He has Pure of Purpose, which means he can't be mind controlled, can't have his SR manipulated and everything, which is very, very nice. So this is your push W bot. Everyone goes around and supports him, and Ducal can pretty much run wherever he wants to, and is going to be pretty well protected just by himself with his abilities and everything. He is very much worth the 28 points. If someone wants to take him down, they either need to completely focus on him or wipe out all of his supporting units and then go after him. So I hope that maybe this was a useful rundown to someone. If you haven't already, appease the small gods of the algorithm if you think that this has been worth it. And I will catch you all on the next one.